And so on that day that we were to go, we met at Mrs. Bates' house, and all of these soldiers were there with these Jeeps, and they had these beautiful crisp khaki uniforms on. And I remember walking up in front of some of them and going like this, trying to see if they blinked, because they had their weapons at their sides, and they were looking straight out. And they were so pretty. They were just beautiful. And they made us feel so safe. And, you know, we thought, wow, this is just, you know, there were just so many news people there. There were news people in the trees. There were news people all over the place. And there were these 3 black men. I'm trying to remember, Philadelphia and Washington, Chicago defender, who we had made friends with. And they ultimately that day would be injured, one pretty seriously. But everybody was there that morning. It was huge. And I remember this minister praying aloud for us. And I thought, well, you know, God is here. The troops are here. It's going to be fine. And we, you know, we were children. Please, you know, when I was writing about this in my book, I looked back and I thought we were children, for heaven's sakes. We were worried not about what's going to happen when you get to school. We were worried about who gets to sit where in the station wagon. We wanted to, first of all, ride in the Jeep. Could somebody please ride in the open Jeeps? No, they said. You have to, so the, who sits in the front, right? We're worried about if we wrinkle our clothes, if we sit too close together, and, you know. Didn't dawn on me, although I had some thoughts, that if the President of the United States has to send the 101st Airborne, who are soldiers and heroes from war, to protect your black butt, you're in a lot of trouble, right? I mean, this should be one's first thought, but it was not our first thought. We thought, how cute the soldiers are. Are there any black soldiers? No, they kept them away. But after all, we were 15, 16, 17, and so we girls were looking for prospective dates, and we were thinking, where are the minorities? Where are the blacks? No, they kept them separate.
Yeah.
So, you know, we just tootled on into the car, and there we go. And only when we get sort of in this white neighborhood, kind of near Central, do we hear these people screaming, boo! You know, and just horrifying kinds of epithets at us, you know. Because here came the question of states' rights and all of the things that the South had labored to preserve. And we were stepping over that line. Because by sending the troops, Eisenhower had made them an offer they couldn't refuse. And so it was a messy entryway, but nevertheless, we didn't get that. That is a comment as an adult in hindsight. As children in that car, Ernie was telling the jokes. We all have roles, interestingly enough, all 9 of us, and we all, to this day, are the same people in relationship to each other that we were then. Ernie is the absolute boss. We do not defy him. If he makes a decision or says something, it's done as he wishes. And he always was, in some ways, a fatherly protector, in that he told jokes, said, you know, come on. He'd say things like, do y'all see the welcome wagon? There's no welcome wagon here. Is there a welcome wagon here? Mel, you expecting a welcome? I mean, all the way to school, he and Terry would have this like dialogue going on every single day, which was a nervous, I think, way of responding to what was just cold, stark fear. There was this new feeling in my stomach that came in that didn't go away for the 9 months. An unexplainable, like, this is big. This is bigger than anything you've ever faced. This is not going away. This is going to hurt every single day.